Hello, fellow freelancers. So I did a post on digital nomad visas and I got quite a bit of interest. And so I thought I should share some more information about it because digital nomad visas are becoming very popular. In the past couple of years, it's kind of spread all over the place. When doing some research, I came across this, and he pretty much has everything I wanted to say here, more or less. And so I'll kind of go through it quickly. I'll link to him down below in the description. He says the world is changing. People can work from anywhere. 50 plus countries have digital nomad visas now. So you can explore the world as a digital nomad. Here's a guide to all of them. So let's start doing that. So we're starting off, I guess he's going alphabetically here. We're starting off with Anguilla. Anguilla is a country in the Caribbean, and that's literally all I know about it. I'm married and with a child, and so we still plan on moving and living in different places, but it's a lot harder. And if I didn't have a child or if I weren't married, I mean, a lot of these places, I was like, who wouldn't want to go to Anguilla and just kind of check it out? And, such a new place. I don't know anyone who's even been there, I don't think. And it would just be so cool to check out a new place and live there for a while. But anyway, it has Lose the Crowd, Find Yourself, Work-Life Bliss Program. That's an odd name, usually just has a very much more standard name like Digital Nomad Visa or something. $2,000 visa fee. What this means usually is that you have to pay $2,000 up front for the visa. But there's no income requirement after that, so you don't have to prove that you've been earning X amount or anything like that. So for freelancers, this can be great if you don't have steady income. And it's a 1-year visa period. Now, I should say, my recommendation is always to go to their websites, the government websites, to check out for more details, because the devil's always in the details. But by and large, this is how it is. You need $2,000 for the visa fee. So, save up for that, and then that's pretty much it. Obviously, once you get there, to Anguilla, you have to earn a living. You need the Airbnb, you need to get a plane there, you need to eat. All that you have to pay for as well. But presumably, if you're paying rent now wherever you are, you don't have to do that in your own place for the year that you're there. If you have a car, you can sell it, and so you have money. But so whatever expenses you have here, you won't have them here anymore, and you can just transpose them there. It's a calculation, but it's a fun calculation. I used to love trying to look into this and figure out what the prices will be in different places and see what's possible. I'm going to take a bit longer for these first ones, but obviously I'm not going to take this long for all of them. You have Antigua and Barbuda, Digital Nomad Residence Program. That's more of the standard name that you find for these. $1,500 visa fee, $4,166 monthly income requirement. What does that mean? This usually means one of two things. It either means that you need to show that over, say, the past year, you've earned that much per month. If you don't have a steady job, you show that you've earned that on average. Usually that's what they mean. Or what it might mean is that if you're there for a year or say 2 years, you need to show that you kind of have the capability, or you already have this much in your account. So do 4,166 times 12 or times 24 for 2 years. Usually if you can show them, hey, I have this much in my account, they'll be like, okay, fine. They just want to make sure that you kind of don't run out of money while you're there. And again, check on their website to see what exactly they need, but it's usually one of those two options. And here's a 2-year visa period. By the way, 2-year visa, sometimes it doesn't mean it has to be 2 years. It can be 1 year or 2 year. You don't have to stay there for a full 2 years. You can just stay there for 1 year if you want. So just keep that in mind. Extended access travel stay for the Bahamas. Here's a $25 visa fee. That's very cheap and no income requirement. 1 year with a 2-year extension. So it could be 3 years total. Now this seems, quite frankly, to me, it seems almost too good to be true. So what do you do if it seems, too good to be true? What I would do is just Google this. So say Bahamas extended access travel stay. Let's do that. So usually I go to these, I look for the government website because, that'll have the official up-to-date information. But when I looked through here, I didn't find any, but I saw Bahama Beats. I'm guessing Beats stands for the Extended Access Travel Stay. So this looks like it's the official website. So if you just click on this, you should be able to see the information. And so this looks like it's the official website. You can click on how it works. I'm not going to click through the whole thing here, but this sort of gives you an idea of how to do the research. And then usually here it says get started. Since I'm assuming this is the official website, maybe do a bit more research just to be sure. This is probably where you can do the whole thing. Processing time, 5 business days. That's a good thing because it's pretty quick. Here, valid passport data page, medical insurance card, those applying to work remotely, proof of employment. So this is probably the thing that'll get you. If you're working remotely, you need proof of employment. So this means either you need something from your employer showing that you're employed, or if you work for yourself, it might mean that you need like an LLC, or you need invoices for the past year showing that you're actually been working, something like that. Those applying to study remotely, student ID. So this also sometimes is a way around it. Sometimes you can apply for schools that aren't that expensive, and then you take like a class, a couple classes a week while you're there, and then the rest of the time you work, and they give you a student ID. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm also not a lawyer, but I just know what I've seen around other people do and for other countries. So just keep that in mind, and feel free to research for each one. We got Bahamas. Here we have Bali cultural visa, and the visa fee is a bit more expensive. But here, look, 140,000 proof of funds. That's quite a bit. Now, proof of funds, what does that mean? That basically means that you need to show a snapshot of your bank statement. I know people who've done, basically asked their parents to transfer whatever amount into their bank account so they can show a statement, that a snapshot in time that they have that much, and then they just give the money back. And in essence, usually they do this because they want to know that you have access to that money, just in case, And so proof of funds, yeah, you don't have to pay this to the country, and you just need to usually just show a bank statement showing that much money in your account at some point in time recently, obviously. Go on the website itself to see what exactly is needed, but there you go. Because everyone knows that people who travel to Bali and places, usually they just go as a tourist. Now you can go as a tourist. I don't know how long you can stay. It depends what country you're from. Maybe you just prefer to go as a tourist, and that's fine. These are different visas. They're different from the tourist visa, so just keep that in mind. Barbados has what's called a welcome stamp. I'm not sure what that is. $2,000 visa fee, 4,166 monthly income requirement. This is a random number to keep reappearing, but there you go. That's pretty straightforward. Belize has a higher monthly income requirement. Work where you vacation program, okay. But yeah, that could be interesting. Bermuda, no income requirement, visa fee. 1 year residential certificate is called. So yeah, it looks like you get 1 year residence. Digital Nomad Visa. Most of them are called Digital Nomad Visa. $120 visa fee, and then here, $15,000 monthly income or $18,000 proof of funds. And that's what I mean. There's a difference, right? Because this, you need to show that you have 12 months worth, or that you can get this every month for at least 1 year, for at least 12 months. Or this one, you just need to show a snapshot in time. So that's the main difference between those. And I should mention too, Digital Nomad Visa is usually created for freelancers. So you can feel safe about that as a freelancer. That is catered to you. Remote working program. Here, I can start going through these a bit more quickly, except to say here, a $100,000 yearly income requirement is pretty hefty. But it's the Cayman Islands, so there you go. Digital Nomad Visa, Costa Rica. I would love to go back to Costa Rica. Croatia, Digital Nomad Visa. This has been getting a lot of press lately. This is a popular one. Curacao, $300 visa, no income requirement. I'll go through these a bit more quickly now just so you can see the name. Cyprus, Digital Nomad Visa. Zivno, Freelance Visa. And here, $46 trade license. This is usually, again, all the stuff I'm saying is not official, but usually, at least from what I've seen, it's basically another fee that you pay, and they give you a trade license. And in this case, I imagine it's a license to work. So if you're there on a tourist visa, in most countries, you're not allowed to work. Keep that in mind. But this is probably giving you license to work. Walk-in, or I assume it's work-in nature visa program. And again, that number, so odd. Ecuador, Estonia, first ever Digital Nomad Visa. They were actually the first ones, I think, to grant what they called an e-visa. So that might be why they call it that. They're pretty much pioneers in this, in offering this Digital Nomad Visa. Georgia, Germany. See, this is quite cheap, and then must be self-employed. I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming the devil is going to be in those details. But yeah, check it out. Greece, Digital Nomad Visa, Remote Employment Act, Grenada, Hungary, Iceland, Digital Nomad Visa, pretty high monthly income requirement there. Latvia, Digital Nomad Visa, Malaysia, again, this is probably a Digital Nomad Visa, Digital Nomad Visa, Premium Travel Visa, okay? Temporary residence visa. Now this, when you see resident visa, it can be interesting because here it says 1 year with a 3-year extension. So that's total 4 years. I'm imagining if you stay 4 years, you might be on track to get a permanent resident visa or something like that. So these visas, if they're digital nomad visa, that's it. But if you're some type of resident visa, again, not all the time, but often it means that you can then transfer it to a more permanent thing if that's what you're looking for. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Remote worker stamp, digital nomad visa for Namibia. I'd love to go to Namibia. And New Zealand, 2,700 proof of funds. Again, this is proof of funds. This isn't monthly income. Norway, the digital nomad visa. And again, I'm going to go through these a bit more quickly. Panama, digital nomad visa. Portugal, digital nomad visa. Romania, digital nomad visa. Santa Lucia, digital nomad visa. Seychelles, digital nomad visa. Spain, digital nomad visa. Taiwan employment gold card visa. This is actually recent. Taiwan is where I am right now, and they only got this in the past couple of years. It was harder before if you were a foreigner to come here and actually work. One thing I should say, I've heard some complaints that it takes them a while to process this one. Always take that into account, the processing of it. I think for the Bahamas it said that it was only 5 days, which is great, but sometimes it can take quite a long time to process the whole thing. Here, Thailand digital nomad visa, and here we have remote working visa. And here we go. The following countries are finalizing digital nomad visas: Colombia, Italy, Montenegro, Serbia, South Africa. So if you're interested in any of those countries, definitely stay tuned. This guy seems to have all the information you need, so follow him. I would follow him if I were you, here at Matt R. Gale, or else here, Matt Gale on LinkedIn. That's why I follow him. Or wait, I don't follow him yet. Oh, here, I'll follow him now. I will, of course, link to his profile in the description below. But that's just a brief introduction to all the digital nomad visas available currently around the world. Hopefully you can find it useful and do your own research. And if you do end up using one of these and going somewhere, I'd love to hear about it, so definitely let me know. I've talked about it before in some other videos. In fact, I have a course, How to Move and Live Abroad. I should probably do a couple updates because a lot of change is happening right now. But yeah, I wanted to share this information about these visas because I think we're living in very interesting times for these. But otherwise, that's about it, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay, thanks, bye. Savedum.